Hey everybody. I thought about something today that is pretty important for people in the workplace. And we spend the majority of our time in the workplace, so it's real important to look at the environment of the workplace. How many times have you worked at a facility and had somebody really negative in and around your work area every day? Um, there are two things that can happen. One is that the person's negative energy tends to affect the rest of the employees that are working in that vicinity. And then what you find is that the negative attitude that the one person has suddenly becomes infectious to the whole group. Then you have to look at maybe removing that person from the area and putting them in a different area, and you'll see that the core group will recalibrate back to um, an atmosphere of more calm and teamwork oriented type setting. The other thing that tends to happen is the other people in the group that are having to be exposed to this become very anxious and unhappy and will go to the manager and say, you need to do something about this person over here. And so it can create a lot of problems in the workplace. Now, negative resonance, someone who's a negative resonant type of person, that negativity is very projective out to the environment. A person who's resonating a happy, peaceful energy, that's a little bit lesser in resonance. And in the negativity seems to be a little bit more dominant because it's forceful. So when we see that the whole group starts to take on this negative resonance, let's say that the one negative person starts complaining and is always complaining about a work situation and how this is unfair and just focusing on the negative and only complaining and never saying anything positive, then you find that other people in that area will start to do the same thing. So, what is happening here? How is it that one person can affect the resonance of all the group? It's done by entrainment, and entrainment simply means synchronization of organisms. We tend to synchronize with our environment, and you can actually, if you put somebody really negative and told them never even to speak, and they were just existing in part of the office space, let's say, and the rest of the office is sensing their negative energy, you will find at the end of several months that the people in that vicinity will have synchronized to that one person's negative energy, even though they haven't said anything. They will either want out of that environment or they themselves will kind of become negative. Of course, there's always people who are resistant to this and are very conscious of the thought that I don't need to get involved in that. I am spiritually aware and I'm staying centered and with my positive energy. But for those people who are unaware that this is going on, they can lapse into this very easily. They become entrained to their environment, and if their environment has that negative energy in it every single day, your body naturally wants to come to homeostasis, and so it entrains to the energy of the environment. So, how can we deal with a person who has a negative resonance in the workplace? Well, for one thing, and I don't know how open managers and administrators are to these suggestions that we'll see, definitely. Um, the first thing is to train your employees exactly how this happens. Knowledge is one of the key things to prevent this from happening, because once the other employees know that entrainment can take place and they can actually entrain to negative energy, that knowledge reduces the ability of subconscious entrainment, because then the employees are aware this is something that can happen and I need to take active steps to prevent my energy from becoming negative. Because what happens when um, their energy becomes negative as well, and their bodies are resonating at that negative energy or training to that negative energy, that's when you start to see sickness, illness. So the more you can keep your employees um, resonant energy in their body in a positive manner, the healthier that they will be, the more productive, the better the environment, the better ideas that are going to come out. And so, several things that you can do in the workplace to kind of shield yourself from negativity. And I know a lot of places you can't use a salt uh, candle, but you can certainly put like a little salt lamp that plugs in into your office. And it's the salt that provides the positive resonant energy. Just like, let's say, for example, you have a cubicle here, and beyond that is a person who's really negative on the other side. I would suggest putting either programmed crystals for positive energy and shielding along that border, and then a salt lamp in the middle of it that's been programmed for shielding and positive energy. And that would be one thing that would create like a barrier or a block to that negative energy that's coming towards you. A lot of other things, and you have to check to make sure that no one in the office or around your space is allergic, is the use of aromatherapy and herbs. Things like lavender spray or a rosemary spray or lemon and tangerine spray, they actually put positive resonant energy in the environment and kind of repel and push back the negative energy that's coming at you. Now, I used to be a nurse administrator, and one of my jobs was to go around to all the nursing units and make sure, everybody showed up for work, everybody's working, see how they are, see if they need anything. And so, in a job like that, you don't really have an area you're exposed to a lot of people's negative energy. So, what can you do in that circumstance? So, what I personally would do would be to wear some type of gemstone that's been programmed to repel negativity and to instill positive energy in myself. I also did carry a couple of gemstones in my pocket that were programmed for specific purposes that I was needing for the day. And I also kept positive, inspirational type of meditative little blurb in my office. When I did have to go back to the office, I would look at it and recite it to myself and keep myself in mind of I have to stay positive and I need to stay focused and I need to repel that negativity that's kind of creeping in, because as a nurse administrator and being um, in contact with so many different people throughout the shift, um, a lot of that negative energy would just kind of batter you down if you let it. So I also did use aromatherapy for myself on my person, like rosemary and lemon. I make a little rosemary and lemon roll-on kind of oil, and I would keep it in my pocket. And if I started feeling overwhelmed by that negative energy, I would just inhale that, recenter, and push that negative energy away. So that's real important for managers and administrators to keep the resonant energy of the work environment on a positive level. Your business will be better. You'll have better production. You'll have better customer satisfaction because your employees will be happier. So these are all important things to keep in mind, and I hope this helps. So just let me know. Comments are welcome. Thanks. Bye.